Joining me now is a very successful entrepreneur in mining and filmmaking, just two things that just go hand in hand. Frank Giustra, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
Now, Frank, you're also an important part of the Clinton Global Initiative. You have the Clinton Giustra Enterprise Partnership. But at a high level, tell us a little bit about this partnership that you have with the Clintons.
Yes, it started about 7 years ago. I'd known President Clinton for a few years at that point, supporting his AIDS initiative throughout the world. And I came up with this idea about alleviating poverty, and it came from all of my travels to the developing world where a lot of the mining takes place, as you know, and seeing the poverty in those countries. And so I thought, I came up with the concept of designing programs that created jobs and raised income levels. And that's how it started in 2007. And over the last couple of years, we've really refined it into three specific areas that are dealing with supply chains and with training centers and with distribution centers. So using those three models, we've launched a number of programs in Peru and Colombia, Haiti, Salvador, and now India. And we're looking at projects in Africa now to implement.
Well, the former president was really name-dropping your name yesterday, Frank, so you must be doing something right.
Well, we are. I think that what we're doing is one of the more interesting things at the Clinton Foundation, and although they do many, many interesting things, it's the one that certainly is very, very exciting because it really does impact a lot of lives. We, in each of our programs, we look to design these such that they create jobs at a large scale. So, we're impacting thousands upon thousands of families in one specific area. And as we refine these models, we're going to be transferring them to other parts of the world where you can implement them with pretty much the same design.
Now, Frank, I'm happy I ran into you here at the CGI because that means I get to talk gold again for a little bit. So I've been wanting to get your thoughts on gold for years now. How does Frank Giustra currently view the gold market? I know you love the metal. What's your stance on it these days?
Yeah, it's a very difficult time. I think it's in that no one cares phase at the moment, which is very true. I think most investors are focused on other more interesting markets like the stock market and other things, real estate. And so it's not something that people are paying much attention to as they did a few years ago, right after the crisis. But my view remains the same, and it remains unchanged. All of the reasons why gold went to 2,000 in the first place are still there and in spades. Nothing's changed fundamentally to tell me in any way that one should divest of their gold position. You've got debts are still accumulating, deficit, government's still running deficits, the debt situation's out of control. You've got the world in a money printing mode. There's one of the reasons gold has come down is because of the Fed tapering. But you know what? I don't think that once you take away that punch bowl, that the economy is going to be as robust as everybody thinks. So I think that the accommodative policy that's been in place now for a number of years is going to have to continue in some fashion, which is always good for gold. And I just think that you have to have some gold in your portfolio because currencies are being devalued through money printing worldwide.
Now, how do you like to hold that gold? Do you like physical? Do you like the mining stocks? How do you do it?
Well, I do. I actually, for many years, I liked the physical. And so I preferred the physical after ETFs were introduced because I quite rightly saw that the money was going to flow into the physical and out of the mining sector. But now what's happened in the last couple of years with this very severe bear market in the mining sector is that the gold stocks are becoming much more interesting. I think that you'll find more value by investing in the gold stocks directly now as opposed to the physical.
Right, but the million-dollar question is, with so many gold stocks out there, how do you pick the winner? What do you look for when you're selecting a company?
Well, I'm not going to talk about my own portfolio, but I think that you have to look at those companies that are producing gold at a certain level. I mean, no one really cares much these days for the 100,000 ounce a year producer. It's just not of interest. You have to really be at a larger volume of gold production. I think you have to get be a company that's getting their all-in costs down to at least the $1,000 level or very close to it. And I think that if you can do that and have a growth profile with projects that are coming on stream or look that they could come on stream in the next few years, I think that that's the sort of thing you have to focus on.
Now, are there certain areas of the world that you're looking at that you like for mining?
The world changes all the time, and you have to be very careful when you look around the world. Politics change, the geopolitics change. Listen, I like parts of Latin America, I like parts of West Africa. There are parts of Central Asia I wouldn't go to anymore, but in parts of Africa that I wouldn't go to anymore. But certainly there's always places too.
So Frank, if I had to sum it up, if you're buying gold, you're saying hold long term because it's going to go through these up and downs and you just need to stomach it?
Absolutely. I think we're in the middle of a very long-term bull market in gold. My views haven't changed on that. I think the last few years have given people some sense that it's over, and I've made some very strange bets that that's not going to happen, and with many people. And I think that it's just, you have to always you have to get a clear view of the situation. You have to look at what is actually going on. Has the world really changed from what it was 10 years ago when gold was having its run? It hasn't. The situation hasn't improved. It's in many cases gotten a lot worse. So there is a reason to hold your gold, and I think you just have to be patient.
Last question, Frank. Besides gold, what else are you liking these days?
Food.
Olive oil, right?
Olive oil, yes. We make the best olive oil in the world now. Dominica Fiore, which you can get in Montreal.
Thank you, Frank. It was a pleasure, and your Twitter handle is right. You are a cool dude and philanthropist. Thank you so much for meeting you and speaking with us.
Finally, we got an opportunity to do this.
And thank you for watching our coverage from the Clinton Global Initiative here in New York City. We'll have more for you in the meantime. You can email us at newsfeedback@kitco.com. Thanks for watching.